As of March 5th, 2026, the war that is currently burning across the Middle East, with the United States and Israel on one side and Iran on the other, has now entered its sixth day. The fighting continues, and each side claims that its enemy is suffering heavy losses in weapons, troops, and financial resources. This is a fast-escalating, large-scale conflict in which both sides are using heavy and advanced weapons, resulting in extremely high military spending. Iran appears to have anticipated such a conflict in advance. As a result, it has produced large numbers of relatively cheap weapons, particularly attack drones, which are intended to destroy the much more expensive weapons used by Israel and the United States. In this war, it can be observed that Iran is using drones costing just over $20,000 each to confront missiles costing about $4 million, which are fired from the Patriot air defense system used by the United States. When comparing a $20,000 drone with a $4 million Patriot missile, it becomes clear that the United States is facing significant financial losses in such exchanges. So far, Iran has continued using its strategy of deploying low-cost drones to put pressure on expensive U.S. air defense systems, as well as the air defense system of American partners in the Persian Gulf region, such as Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Qatar. Iran is doing this in order to drain the enemy's weapons stockpiles as quickly as possible. In large-scale wars like this, the side that spends more resources and runs out of weapons first is likely to fall behind. Even the United States has expressed concern that if the war continues for a long time, its weapons reserves could eventually be depleted. According to Al Jazeera, in a report published on March 3, 2026, a leak from the Pentagon last week, reported by several American media outlets, suggested that if attacks on Iran continue for more than 10 days, U.S. weapons stockpiles could decline rapidly. The report specifically referred to key U.S. missile systems. The pressure of the enormous cost of this war may also be one reason why Donald Trump announced on March 4, 2026, that he supports armed groups inside Iran that aim to overthrow the current Iranian government. This statement effectively signals that the United States is open to supplying weapons to groups willing to oppose the Iranian regime, which could help reduce the direct military spending of the U.S. and its allies. Since March 2, 2026, Iran has continued to use its Shahed 136 attack drones to strike targets across the Middle East, particularly U.S. military bases located in countries around the Persian Gulf. When launching attacks on U.S. military bases, oil facilities, or civilian infrastructure in Gulf countries, Iran often first deploys Shahed drones to pressure and distract enemy air defense systems. While air defense systems, such as Patriot, are busy intercepting these relatively cheap drones, Iranian ballistic missiles are launched toward their intended targets. The United Arab Emirates, a U.S. ally that has also been targeted by Iranian attacks, reported that the Patriot air defense system has successfully intercepted many Shahed drones and several Iranian missiles, achieving a success rate of around 90%. However, from a deeper strategic perspective, using $4 million Patriot missiles to destroy $20,000 Iranian drones creates a serious challenge for military planners. Iranian drones have also managed to destroy several pieces of high-value U.S. military infrastructure and equipment. For example, a drone strike reportedly damaged an ANFPS 132 radar system located at the Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, which is worth approximately $1.1 billion. In addition, the advanced THAAD air defense system has also suffered damage during drone attacks carried out by Iranian forces. If the war continues to drag on as it is now, both Iran, the United States, and Israel could face ammunition shortages within the coming weeks. The side that can endure longer and sustain greater resources will likely gain the advantage. The United States and Israel likely planned their attack on Iran very carefully, particularly regarding resource expenditure. Before launching attacks on Iran, they targeted Iranian nuclear infrastructure, ballistic missile stockpiles, and Iran-backed armed groups, including Hamas in Gaza, Hezbollah in Lebanon, and the Houthis in Yemen. Although these groups have not been completely destroyed, a large portion of their weapons has been damaged, and many of their leaders have been killed by US and Israeli operations. The war against Iran appears to be conducted in two phases. The first phase occurred during the 12-day conflict in June 2025, which allowed the United States and Israel to assess Iran's military capabilities and weapon systems. During that first round of attacks, many Iranian weapons were destroyed, especially air defense systems and missile storage sites. Therefore, the second phase of the war, which began on February 28, 2026, could potentially be the decisive conflict aimed at ending Iran's current regime. As for Iran, it appears to recognize that it cannot defeat the United States and Israel in a direct confrontation. Therefore, Iranian leaders have long stated that if the US or Israel attacks Iran, the conflict would not remain limited to Iran alone, but would become a regional war across the entire Middle East. That is why, in this current conflict, Iran has launched missile and drone attacks against multiple US allied countries in the Persian Gulf region. Looking at the situation, it is clear that both Iran and the United States are trying to draw other countries into the war. Iran has not directly pulled its own allies into the fighting, but instead targets US allies located near Iran. Meanwhile, the United States has attempted to bring other partner countries into the conflict, including France, the United Kingdom, Spain, and other NATO members. Although some countries, such as Spain, have shown reluctance to participate, others like France and the United Kingdom have already begun deploying warships, aircraft carriers, and military forces to the Mediterranean Sea near the Middle East. France has also deployed several Rafale fighter jets to military bases located in the United Arab Emirates. The question now is, how many weapons does Iran still have left? After the war with Israel in 2025, experts estimated that Iran still possessed at least 2,000 ballistic missiles. According to Becca Wasser, a military expert cited by Bloomberg Economics, Iran also has very large stockpiles of shahed drones and the ability to produce hundreds of them. Analysts estimate that since the war began on February 28, 2026, Iran has already launched more than 1,000 shahed drones. Using drones in such large numbers suggests that Iran may be conserving its ballistic missiles for continued attacks if the war continues for a longer period. Regarding air defense systems used in the conflict, Iran is using the Russian-made S-300 air defense system, while the United States and its Gulf allies rely on Patriot systems, whose missiles cost about $4 million each, as well as the THAAD system, whose interceptors cost roughly $12 million per missile. This is why many analysts say that Iran is using cheap weapons to fight against the enemy's extremely expensive systems. One possible solution to this problem could be laser-based air defense weapons. One example is the Iron Beam, developed by the Israeli defense company Rafael. This weapon uses laser beams to destroy drones and other aerial threats, and it is much cheaper to operate. However, Israel has stated that this system is not yet ready for full operational deployment on the battlefield. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you again in the next video.